For us to act in an irresponsible way is endangering our community. That's exactly what the banks and the other institutions want us to do. They want us to trip a wire, blow up, and then they'll say, you see, we told you these guys were bad guys, right? Don't give them your money, give us your money so we can steal from you.
Four years ago, I interviewed Mashinsky, this guy, and this guy. I knew him way back when Celsius was just getting off the ground, long before they even launched the Cell token and way before Alex got all arrogant. It was back in 2018 when a few of us organized a massive conference in San Francisco, and that's when I first crossed paths with Mashinsky. Not long after that, I managed to set up a 1 hour long interview with the guy at another event. And this is what Alex Mashinsky had to say back in those days. Give it a listen.
Thanks.
How are you?
Yeah, doing great. How are you?
Great,
It's been a while
great.
since I saw you last time. Like several months, I think.
Yes. You got a much nicer haircut, and I still have my old, I need to get a haircut. So.
Well, we're not here for my haircut. So.
Before Celsius, I've disrupted several other industries. Obviously, one of them was voice over IP, where the phone companies used to charge us $3 a minute. Now it's free. And kind of going through that, it's very, very relevant to the cryptocurrency / blockchain community, because we kind of seen that movie, so we know how it ends. And here, part of the reason why we're, I think, moving faster than other companies is because the background of me and some of the people I work with, we like trailblazers, right? We went through this path already, so we know how to get there faster. We take less wrong turns along the way. So I've done this in telecom, transportation, power distribution, out of all things, electricity, a bunch of different things. Anyone who's interested can look at the website, mashinsky.com. I have a lot of my war stories listed there.
Nice. Let's talk a little bit about Celsius. For those who don't know, Celsius is a lending platform, cryptocurrency-backed lending platform, right?
So most of our business is actually paying interest to depositors, right? So the way we pay interest is by lending. But our business is to enable 7.5 billion people on the planet to have interest income. Most people don't even expect that from their bank. I mean, basically, most of us trade our money. We give our money to the bank because we expect safety. We don't expect return on the capital, right? Your checking account probably doesn't earn anything, or maybe 1%. But you're not expecting anything from it. What you're expecting for the money to be safe, and when you need to withdraw it, for it to be available. But we think that financial institutions should be doing more for their customers, regular people, and enabling people to basically have their money work for them instead of just them working for their money.
How is Celsius doing it? How are you doing it?
So we're doing it in a very simple way. We give back 80% of what we earn on the money. So you see, when you make a deposit with your bank immediately turns around and gives your money to somebody on their credit card. They lend it on the credit card, right? So, because when I do a charge on my credit card and I don't pay my bill right away, they charge me 20 to 25%. Mm-hmm. So they earn 25% on your money, but they pay you nothing for it. So most banks, if you look at their financial statements, you will see that they earn 18, 19% on average on their capital, on your capital. It's not their money, it's your money. So they can pay you 7, 8, 9%. There's no problem. I mean, they're earning 2 or 3 times that. Why don't they pay that? Because they don't have to. The number of banks is shrinking every year, right? There's very little competition, and they all effectively colluded together to pay very, very low rates. And no one is screaming. No one is demanding more from their banks. So when we created Celsius, it was all about creating an institution that acts in the best interest of the depositor. See, the banks, when they make all that money, they can choose. They can give it to the depositor or they give it to their shareholders. Today, banks give almost all of it to the shareholders in the form of dividends and stock buyback. And Celsius is giving almost all of it back to the depositor. It's that simple. So when people say, wow, Alex, what a genius idea, it's not genius at all. It's actually very, very simple. So when people say, wow, Alex, what a genius idea, it's not genius at all. It's actually very, very simple.
Do you have any creative ideas on how to make life easier for the older generation?
Yeah, so our goal is to enable people to have financial freedom. And empowering you to spend faster is not helping you create your financial freedom. Financial freedom is all about savings and having that capital for a rainy day. And because most people underestimate, they don't understand the power of inflation, they don't understand how fast inflation eats their money away, and they don't understand the power of compounding interest, right? Of basically earning money on your money and having it accumulate over time. And these are two opposite forces, right? So today, most people, because they earn 1% or less, they don't understand that inflation is 3-4%, and it's effectively eroding. Like the dollar lost over 90% of its value since 1971, since it went off the gold standard. So part of what we're trying to do is empower good behavior. Empower good behavior. We want to create stuff that really works for you and allows you and your family to build financial future just like old money does, right? I mean, the whole thing about old money is that these people live on their money. They don't work that hard. Right? The money works for them. So we think everybody in the world can have access to that. And instead of just the 1% earning all that return, we're trying to we do all the tricks Wall Street does on how to make money on your money. We know all those tricks, right? I've done that my entire life. We do all the tricks Wall Street does on how to make money on your money. We know all those tricks, right? I've done that my entire life. But we're taking all those profits and we're giving them back to the community. And I can tell you that most of our customers, not just that they don't withdraw coins, even when the market was going down, like when we started, Bitcoin was close to 10,000, went down to 3,500, almost no one withdrew. The opposite, people kept depositing. Our average customers did 9 deposits with us. Binance is a magnet for speculators. It's not a magnet for hodlers. So where do hodlers go to as a community? Where do they go together, right? They don't really have a place to go. Celsius became like a magnet for the hodlers. And in our app, actually, we publish, one of the new features that we have is that we show you what the community looks like. So you can basically see how many people are participating in the community, how much they deposit. For example, it shows you the Bitcoin, how much we have on deposit. And this is real time. So if I open it 2 minutes from now, it will show you a different balance, right? And basically how much interest did we pay. And you can actually see the community growing, the community doing well. And again, we treat the person that has $1 and the person that has $1 million exactly the same way. They get exactly the same interest. We don't give the fat cat more and the poor person less, right? So the idea is to really, replace the bank that only caters to the very, very rich or the shareholders with people that actually act in the best interest of the community. And we've been saying it for a long time, but now the facts are in front of us.
Are your employees using Celsius?
Personally?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is my wallet. What I'm showing you is my wallet.
Yeah, but besides you, your employees, people who you
yes,
hired.
we all of our employees are users. We all buy coins and deposit them here. So of course we are the guinea pigs of
Perfect.
Yes, and I think. Again, it's about the idea. It's not about, obviously all of this runs on the blockchain and it allows everybody to audit us, right? We have an audit function where you can go and audit what we do and verify. Did Celsius pay 80% to the community? Or are they stealing a little bit on the side? How much did they earn? How much did they get in deposits? And it allows everybody to audit us, right? We have an audit function where you can go and audit what we do and verify. Did Celsius pay 80% to the community? Or are they stealing a little bit on the side? How much did they earn? How much did they get in deposits? Go to your bank tomorrow when you make a deposit and say, I want 2 things from you, Mr. Bank. I want 8% interest, or I'm taking all my money out, and I want full transparency. I want to know what are you using my money for? How much of my money is going for bonuses? How much of my money is going for loans? How much of my money is going to the shareholders and so on? They'll laugh at you. So there's zero transparency. I always remind people.
They'll probably transfer me to some manager, who'll transfer me to another manager, who'll later transfer
who'll just hang up on you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look, I think, again, Facebook joining and a lot of other companies joining and making big announcements, it's good for adoption, but it doesn't solve anything, right? I mean, we're still a very small community, maybe 25 or 30 million users. And I think we talked about this in the previous interview, that there were 4 waves of adoption, right? The anarchists passing the baton to the libertarians passing the baton to the speculators, and the speculators thought they're going to give it to the institutions at $20,000 Bitcoin, and obviously that didn't happen, and they dropped the baton. When they dropped each one of these transitions was an 80 to 90% price drop. 4 transitions. That's what basically, if you look at the chart of Bitcoin, you will see these 4 humps. The last one, where the speculators thought they're going to pass the baton to the institutions, hasn't happened, and frankly, I don't believe that it will happen. It's not like Goldman Sachs is going to suddenly walk in, buy $100 billion worth of Bitcoin and save us. So the mass adoption is what's going to save us. Your interview is perfect because today, after 2 years, today is the first time that Facebook approved our ads. Because I guess the noise is over. Everybody knows about Facebook, so we no longer are causing any competition with Facebook on attention. But look, again, we're acting in the best interest of our depositors. Facebook, the banks, all the other guys acting in their own best interest or in the interest of their shareholders. Look, again, we're acting in the best interest of our depositors. Facebook, the banks, all the other guys acting in their own best interest or in the interest of their shareholders.
Community wants freedom and transparency, and you're saying that large companies like Facebook cannot offer this.
Yes, I'm saying, look, the industry as a whole needs less volatility and more utility.
Right.
Okay, so what we don't have enough is what to do with these coins. And Celsius is coming and saying, no, look, there's amazing utility. You can earn interest and you can get cheap loans. Every person on the planet needs more interest income and pay less for loans. So that is a utility that Facebook is not offering, that IBM is not offering, that no one is offering. Even the people who are trying to copy us are still not offering it. Because they're not giving, none of our competitors are giving all that profit back to the community. They're keeping it to themselves or they give it to their investors. None of our competitors are giving all that profit back to the community. They're keeping it to themselves or they give it to their investors. We don't have any special powers. We still are bound by the rules and the architecture of the open blockchain. So that's the beauty of this architecture, is that it doesn't corrupt itself. And that's why it has so much power, right? It's unstoppable, no matter how many times people are trying to whack it or kill it, or everybody, all the pundits are coming and saying, oh, it's over, this time it's over. It's never coming back. But in reality, people understand that there's something good here, and they see the companies that are acting in their best interest. We, in less than a year, accumulated over $300 million of deposits. Our entire business plan was for $60 million for the entire year. So we're doing much, much better than we expected because people are trusting us. And we're earning a lot of money for them. That's why the rates we're paying today are higher than the rates we were paying when I met you last time. And the reason is because when we have more money, we can earn even more, and we can return even more. So I'm very excited that we're doing so well for the community. And our goal from day one was to bring 100 million people into crypto. And I think when people realize that you're acting in their best interest, they're not going to choose Facebook, they're going to choose Celsius. We launched the Cell token to the community 3 weeks ago. And we decided to wait on basically paying the Cell token in the United States. So our customers can still choose to get Bitcoin on Bitcoin, Ethereum on Ethereum, or stablecoin on stablecoin. That still continues. Nothing has changed there. The only thing that has changed is that we are holding off on allowing US customers to accept their interest in Cell token until the regulators tell us more clearly what is
what's going on,
what's good, what's bad, and so on, and what's allowed, what's not allowed. So I can tell you that about a quarter of our community, of that 35,000 people that are using us, already told us they want to take Cell token, and about 2/3 of that already is paid in Cell token. So the only people that are holding off are the people, and they continue to get BTC, are the people who live in the United States who cannot legally take it. So from day one, we were KYC AML for everybody, every participant, right? Even though before it was mandatory. We were FinCEN registered. We did everything by the book because For us to act in an irresponsible way is endangering our community. That's exactly what the banks and the other institutions want us to do. They want us to trip a wire, blow up, and then they'll say, you see, we told you these guys were bad guys, right? Don't give them your money, give us your money so we could steal from you. For us to act in an irresponsible way is endangering our community. That's exactly what the banks and the other institutions want us to do. They want us to trip a wire, blow up, and then they'll say, you see, we told you these guys were bad guys, right? Don't give them your money, give us your money so we could steal from you. You know, a lot of our competitors still operate without licenses, without any regulatory oversight, and they just keep spraying emails. They're overseas, right? So they keep spraying emails to Americans telling them, hey, you can do this, you can do that, but legally, they're violating the US law. So, so we are very careful about that, and we invite all of our users and everybody in the community to do their homework and ask these companies, okay, show me your show me your license. You claim that you have a license, you're based in Switzerland or you're based somewhere else. Great, you need a license to operate in the United States. Show me your California license. We're in California right now, right? Show me, you need to lend dollars here or to lend coins here, you need a license. Show it to me. So if they can't show it to you, that means they don't have it. So, and you're endangering your collateral. I mean, because a lot of people give you collateral to get the dollar loans. You're endangering the collaterals because if they get shut down, you're not going to get your coins back. And you're endangering your collateral. I mean, because a lot of people give you collateral to get the dollar loans. You're endangering the collaterals because if they get shut down, you're not going to get your coins back. So for us, we rather go slower, but not trip any wires, not step on a landmine, then go faster and blow up. So we have a chief compliance officer, we have a legal team, I have 3 law firms that are helping us through this navigation. And these law firms don't always agree because when you meet the regulators, they're unfortunately giving you vague language. They don't have very precise and specific language that they can share with you. But in general, look, I think the regulators are trying to do the right thing. I don't think that the U.S. regulators or the Swiss regulators are here to make this community fail or to make crypto fail. They want to make sure that everybody gets access, that
There is no scam and everybody pays taxes.
Exactly. Right? We're in Silicon Valley, and you know what the success rate for Silicon Valley companies is? Less than 5%.
Right.
So the nationwide stats are not different. Do you know how many scams, VC-backed companies there are in the Valley? You just don't hear about it. But there's plenty of projects that were funded, including some of them funded by several $100 million. You know, like there was a recent company here in the Valley that raised over $800 million for blood tests that ended up not having anything, right? I mean, the entire company was one giant scam. And the entire company was one giant scam. Scammers are not somehow only showing themselves in the ICO market. And all I'm saying is, look, from the entire internet, the internet had over 10,000 startups since 1990, right, that kind of got funded. There's maybe 5 or 6 great companies that came out of it. That's the stat, that's the success rate of the entire internet, is 5 out of 10,000. The blockchain is gonna have even less, because blockchain, and especially the cryptocurrencies, are fighting for all the money in the world. And all the money in the world is gonna have one big winner. It's not gonna be 10 big winners. So, but the big winner there is gonna be bigger than all our internet companies put together, right? Because it's all the money in the world. JP Morgan earns 30 billion a year in profit, not in revenues, in profit. That's how much money they're extracting from all of us by not paying us interest. So the fight is not over these guys. The fight is over the people that are stealing from us every day, tens of billions of dollars, and no one is saying anything about it. No one is complaining. No one is saying, I'm gonna go head to head with the banks. Well, I am. I'm, like I always joke, right? I'm mad as hell and I'm not gonna take this anymore.
Right.
I'm doing this for the people, right? I mean, that's what this is all about. It's a fight for the people. I'm doing this for the people, right? I mean, that's what this is all about. It's a fight for the people. The reason the adoption is slow is because the centralized companies do a marvelous job of convincing each individual that they still act in their best interest, even though they don't. And again, you cannot fool all the people all the time. The centralized companies do a marvelous job of convincing each individual that they still act in their best interest, even though they don't. And again, you cannot fool all the people all the time. The revolution is here, right? I mean, I know it's sometimes it's hard, especially in a down market where your coin or token is down 80 or 90%. It's hard to feel that you're part of a revolution, but it's here, right? I mean, more and more people are joining every year, every month, every day, and the use cases are maturing, right? And what's missing is, again, all of us as a community each one of us bringing 10 people into the crypto land, right? Because without that, we cannot get to mass adoption. Without convincing our friends and family, which many times think we're crazy, right? I mean, I go to dinner and I go to my family meetings and people go like, you're in what? You're in crypto? Oh my God, I can't believe you're in that thing. You know, it's a scam, right? I recently I was raising money for Celsius. I had to sit down with a really famous investor, and after I explained to them the business model, they asked me if that was a scam. So I got up and left. And sometimes you have to have a very bold statement of showing people that you're serious about this, explaining to them why it's a real thing. But if they don't believe you, you have to cut it and move on and go and convince people that do believe you. But again, we're not going to be successful. We're not going to change the world for ourselves and for our children unless we deliver on this promise. Celsius, my company, is focused on two simple things, right? Interest income and cheap loans. We think that these things apply to 7.5 billion people. And I urge you to find examples like that. I urge you to find the killer app or the mass adoption application that is going to make the blockchain available and useful for 7.5 billion people on the planet. Because that's what's going to make this tsunami become a reality, right? Right now, there's still a lot of skeptics, a lot of people who are not ready to adopt or to jump into the pool, but it's time for all of us to, swing harder and bring in the next 100 million people into crypto.
So how could such a nice guy scam so many people, including my in-laws, who actually lost over $200,000 with Celsius? The answer is unclear. It looks like at some point Alex became overly confident and ultimately lost the sense of reality. Never judge a book by its cover. I'm done for now. If you have anything to comment, please feel free to do so. I'll talk to you soon. Ivan KV out.